Hi, is this Jared Fear? Yeah, hi, this is Kusam Patel. I'm from Lackawanna High School, and I'm one of Connor Bradley's friends. He says he's one of you're one of his family friends. So we're doing a project for this photo class where we go around and we interview people who love what they're doing, and basically that's pretty much what we're doing. So we kind of thought that it would be interesting to interview you because Connor's told us a lot about you. So yeah. So if you can do it, what would be the best time for you? Alright, Wednesday at 7 sounds good. Okay, thank you. Bye. Alright, I'm Kisan Patel. I'm 16 years old. I'm a student at Lackawanna High School, and I'm not really sure what I want to do in my career path, but I hope to get a meaningful experience out of this.
I'm Connor Bradley. I'm 16 years old and I go to Lackawanna High School. I don't really know what I want to be when I grow up, but I'm hoping that this project will help me find my path.
Hi, I'm Matthew Van Wyk. I'm 15 years old and I go to Lackawanna High School. I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I hope I learn a lot from this experience.
Hi, I'm Dylan Williams. I'm 16 years old. I go to Lackawanna High School, and I don't know what I want to do as a career, but I'm hoping to learn a lot from this experience.
Oh, hey, you guys.
Oh, hey. Hey.
How you doing? Hi. Hi. How you doing? Joy. Nice to meet you.
Alright, so what's your current profession and what have you done to get up to this point?
That's a good question. My current profession, I run a nonprofit arts organization. I'm also a practicing artist. And I sort of had a career change that was self-initiated after spending 17 years, I know I look really young, 17 years in the music industry and working for Capitol Records and EMI Music. And it was an amazing career, and I learned a lot about business, a lot about working with artists, a lot about people. But I decided I kind of had enough of the corporate world, wanting to do something more community-based, environment-based, and art-based. And that's what led to founding of Art from the Ashes. And what we do is we're an organization that supports communities that have been devastated by natural disaster by creating art. So we actually go to fire site locations or locations that have been under duress and salvage materials and create one-of-a-kind works of art. And then these works of art provide a framework for benefit exhibitions. And the benefit exhibitions raise money to support the community in need. So it's a really great way of bringing the properties of art in a cathartic way to help community, inspire community, and also I think teach people about, we use materials that would go into landfill or they would just fall away. And these materials are actually symbolic of a place and a time in history. So instead of just letting that fade away, we take it, transform it, and create a new life and a new purpose for it.
What was your look on the future when you were our age?
Actually, no joke, I wanted to be a rock star, a rock singer. I did. I was taking vocal lessons, and I wanted to be a rock star.
Were you ever lost in trying to find your passion?
Yes, when I wanted to be a rock star. No, just kidding. Yeah, I think I always wanted to be in the arts, but I didn't really know what sort of job or area to go into. And so I started interning for the record industry, the music industry, and started finding out what types of jobs were available, and that's when I really kind of locked in.
Is your current job based off the interests that you had when you were a child or the ones that you've developed from your past experiences?
A little bit of both. I think, you always have your imprint of how you grew up and things that affected you. I was always drawn to the arts. I was always out in the environment camping and experiencing life. And I was always drawn to found objects. So that all evolved into making art with reclaimed materials and trying to promote a conscious state of the environment at the same time.
Were there any major obstacles in your life?
Oh, of course. Many. I think that that's where you sort of learn who you are, though, you know? And the obstacles come up, and it may cause you to change course in a relationship or a career choice or what you want to do. I think they're actually really important guidelines to your life.
What are some key factors that have helped you achieve your profession today?
I think engaging in life and sort of being drawn to people and a diversity of personalities. Everybody approaches things differently, and if you get stuck always with your ideal of a way that something should be done, you almost always set yourself up for frustration. So as life's gone on, and especially dealing with artists who the artistic approach is very individual, and there's really no right or wrong, it's in that moment. You sort of learn to be very giving and sit back and kind of watch how things take their course. And I think that bodes well for engaging people and bringing people on. And when you're working a nonprofit that's largely volunteer-based, a lot of it is that. A lot of it is playing on people's desire to be a part of it.
And what are your major daily routines?
I get up in the morning with my cup of coffee and I walk through my garden because it's just a good way to get perspective on whatever's going to come about. The beautiful thing about what I do, and I think what I've always done, even when I was working with Capitol Records prior to Art from the Ashes, I don't really have a daily routine. It's not the same. I'm one of those people that some people need that. They need a very structured day, which is great if that works for them. For me, I kind of like to be different. So when we're putting on a big event or an exhibition, there's a lot of curation and design and dealing with logistics of putting that on. When I'm making a piece of art, it's a totally different process. I'm usually by myself. And then in between, it's everything from doing presentations to grant writing to coming up with new ideas and taking lots of meetings and sharing the mission with people. So it's really kind of every day is what it needs to be.
If you had one piece of advice to give to students that are about to step in the real world, what would it be?
I think advice is to just jump into it and do what you're passionate about, but then also don't be afraid to change it up if it doesn't pan out. I think that everybody's always really hard on themselves. They have an ideal of what they want to do, if they want to, achieve this title at this firm by this age. And it's great to have a goal. I had those same things, but then the path of how I got there was completely different, and there's no way you're going to know it. So the main thing is, hopefully you've anchored into what inspires you in life, and you're doing it, whatever the profession is. And then you just go for it, and you be okay if it's not exactly the path that you thought you were going to go on. Because you can come up with some great opportunities over here that if you're not looking at it and you're pushing ahead in a way that because you said you were going to do this, you might miss really your what you should be doing, what you want to be doing.
From the interview, I learned that you should follow the path that you want to take and not what others want you to do.
After the interview, I still don't really know what I want to do with my life, but I really know that I want to follow my dreams, and I don't want to look back on the past and say I didn't do this. So yeah.
After this project, I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but I know that I should strive for my goals, but if I can't achieve those goals, I should still have opportunities open.
From this interview that we had with Joy, I learned a lot of things, but I think the biggest thing that she taught me was probably that what the society pressures you to do isn't always necessarily the best thing. The best thing is probably what you want to do yourself, and Joy is a perfect example of that, being the artist she is.